Hey, very good morning, trader. We had a little bit of an issue there with our audio on our intro, but that's all good. Well, we are here for the gold, and this is more important than any intros. Today, Friday, the 6th of March. It's a very important Friday. Let's have a look if they actually confirmed the payroll for today. I actually had to go do something and I did not check. Let's go to invest.com. Let's see if we have payroll for today. Because for the last couple of months, yep, so we do have payroll at 10:30 today. So it's gonna be awesome. We should get a lot of volatility today. All right. So now that we do have payroll confirmed, we do know that market might be a little bit sideways now in the morning, just accumulating for the actual payroll. So that's all good. Let's get started on our analysis. So yesterday, market melted. I was expecting it to go up a bit, but that's not what happened to it. So it came down to test that support once again. It actually grabbed all that liquidity that it had to grab below. And then today, it went over to the actual opening of the market yesterday and then came back below once again. So now what is the movements that we have here? The last movement that we have on the market is this one, high of candle 42 and minimals of candle 33. So we are below that 50% and we are below this 50%. Maximum high of candle 42 and low of candle 43. We are just at support at the moment, but now, right now, I'm looking for sales, okay? We have good sales until the trigger candle number 33 here, which is the 50% of that last retraction. Minimals of candle 43. So I'm no longer a buyer at the moment, okay? Even though we have the short here, this trend line, okay? That comes down there. So since we have payroll, during the payroll, the market might come down quite a bit to grab this liquidity at this trigger candle, okay? There is a lot of liquidity below candle 43 here. So in this region right here, we have not only liquidity, but we have also inefficiency from candle 33. So I'm going to change that color into red, into pink, light pink. So we know exactly what we're mapping. So we have inefficiency and stops in this region here, which could cause the market to accelerate. We're talking about 10,000 points. So it's quite a lot of points if the market gets there, of course, because it does have that trigger candle 33 right there on the minimals of candle 43. Okay. So this is what we have on the daily. So we do know that we have a trend line here. Now we've got liquidity below candle 43. We have a little bit under candle 45, but not that much. But if it does grab that liquidity, it could accelerate down. Okay. Market will be sideways. Okay. In the morning now, simply because the market will be accumulating for the payroll. We do have targets down, but we also have good targets up since the market. It wouldn't surprise me if this market actually goes back up. Okay, so it wouldn't surprise me if during the payroll, since we are working at support at the moment, if during payroll this candle just pops right up and continues on flight through. Okay, there's a lot of liquidity up here, there's a lot of liquidity up here, there's a lot of liquidity up there, as we explained before. Okay, and there's a lot of inefficiency here on the daily chart. So there's a lot that could happen today. At the moment, I'm looking for sales, okay, for shorts on the market, but this could change drastically since it has come down. It didn't have enough liquidity before, and then it just came down and grabbed all that liquidity that it had generated through the last couple of days. So grab that liquidity yesterday. The only one left is the minimum of candle 40. But the issue with the minimum of candle 40 is that this is exactly where that 50% of that macro movement is. I'm actually gonna adjust my Fibo because I want this 50% to be visible here for me. Let me just check that. Yep, that's right. So I want this Fibo to be visible for me because if price gets around that 50%, I know that that's where, if I am selling, that's where my take will be. I don't want to leave my take anywhere too much away from it because that's the trigger candle and that should hold that price. It has held once, it should hold again. But then again, if it does break through, we do know that we have a lot of places for the market to go back. Maximum high of candle 22 here is also a good, it's also a very good place to put your take on. Simply because we don't know how big and how strong this payroll will be. So it's good to have that mapped there as well, because that could stop the price. All right, so apart from this, I think we are pretty much in place. We're pretty much there. Let's go over to our 1 hour again. Let's analyze this so we can map this price. Over here, we can see that we have a short. We've got a trend line here, but I'm not gonna put that down there for now. Let me see what I should be putting here. So I've got support in this region. The support should actually be here. So this is region of price equality here, okay, is the same region that works as support. support, support, and then support here again, and then resistance, support, 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 resistance right there. So this is a very strong region to be mapped, okay? Region of the 5136. We are above our support. We are below that 50%. We are just above our trend line. So things are not that bad. Let's go over to our 15 minutes. Let me take these out. And I'll take these out as well. So here we have, we're below 50%. We have some sort of 3 candle pattern here for the price to go up. We've got no resistance for it. Yeah, we actually had a 3 candle pattern there. Candle 54 hasn't tested down yet. We don't have that trend line just there yet. That doesn't look too good. Let me see if I have got some sort of a channel. No, I don't have a channel here either. This was a channel structure, but this isn't. So we're gonna have to see it on the naked eye. It really doesn't look like a channel at all. Yep, so price consolidated just above that 50%. It did break through the support, then went right back up to our region of resistance, then dropped down again today. Since we have that there, let's see what candle 54 is doing, if it's going to continue on its way down. Candle 53 did actually quite a big push here up, but it hasn't changed any of the structures. So at this moment, I'm a seller at this structure. But if candle 54 does start breaking through these old highs here, then I would be looking to buy. Okay. Now, 15 minutes, we do have support around here. It has broken through all the resistance. There's no resistance in this region right now. Just above that trigger candle there. Minimals of the day 22. Let's have a look. Just at the minimals here. A difficult region to read, actually. We've got 50% of the day right there. But this is very, very odd. Because this is the minimal. Yeah, so that is 50% of the day. So we're very, very close to the 50% of the day. It's 1,500 points. 2,000 points now. All right. So we've got two readings here at the moment, okay? We are below 50%. So I am happy to short this market. But the main issue is that we are below all 50%. And we are above support. So it's a very difficult region right now to gauge exactly what might happen. I do know that by the technique, if it starts breaking through these structures here and starts breaking through these 50%, then we have good options to buy. Okay, so we did have a 3 candle pattern here. The obligation of candle 54 is to renew the maximum high of candle 51. But at the moment, as I said, there's a lot of pressure from sellers. But then if the market starts to change the structure, I would be happy to buy as well. I just don't want to buy right now because this could be one of those liquidity grabs and then it comes back down to the minimals once again. We are above our trend line that has respected on the daily for quite a long time now. So it's one of those things. During the payroll, we might still get a push up, okay, depending on how the news comes out. So we could get a very bullish candle here. But the opposite is also true. They could use the news to push this price back down to grab all the liquidity under the candles of the days before. If it does that, then what I would be looking at is pretty much a sell until the 50% of this movement. Because if it does change that, since it has already confirmed they pull back to the highs, then it will be changing the structure, will fill the pullback, then we would expect this price to come back down below. So at the moment, we're still above it, so this could be just a big liquidity grab to come back up. And this could happen today because of the news. So we got to be very, very careful today with everything we'll do, especially before the news, because they could just be accumulating liquidity here for the news to grab that. Okay, so we got to be very, very sharp on our feet today because of this. Price did break through the minimums of candle 22 here, closed above it, but then we get pressure from sellers once again. The stop here is quite big, so it's quite long actually. So we are talking about 10,000 points, is that right? Have a look. No, yeah, just 2,000 points. 2,000 points. Okay, cool. Yeah, so 2,000 points until here. At least here, because we got to be below the trigger. So let candle 54 close. Because it hasn't changed any of the structures yet. I don't want to be selling right now. I want to sell when it confirms to me that it's going the way that I would like it to go. At the moment, we can see how much pressure we get from sellers here at 1 minute. And on 5, price starts breaking through the structures and then creates a new low here, and then, but it hasn't generated a new high. So let's wait to see how that's going to play out. Let me see if now I have the trend line right there. So that looks more like it. So we still have that trend line. We're going to keep an eye out for that one. Let me see how everything else on this market's looking. Everybody preparing for the payroll. All right, so candle 1621 is coming down to test for support. Let's say if it does come below 50% of these movements, then we know that most likely it will continue on its way down. But at the moment, what it did here before was it grabbed liquidity here before and then pushed the price right back up at the support. So we know for sure that we have buyers here. So we have quite a bit of buyers in this structure here below this trend line. But we have a lot of pressure from sellers. So sellers are taking control at the moment. So we got to make sure that we are in the right way of the market before we get into certain trades. And the 162 has tested up and is now coming down. It's just touching those trigger points to the left there. If it does break through, it's going to have to test the support once again on the region of 5084, which is just above our 50% of these last movement. If we get a good rejection here of that 50%, we could buy in here, even though this region tells us that we have a lot more pressure from sellers than buyers. It has tested that support right there. Let's see if this market will start changing the structure soon, or if we just continue to go down as it is at the moment. On the 1 minute, price is having quite a hard time on 1 minute to continue its way down. As you can see, the amplitude of the candles, they're just very, very small at the moment. Okay, so you have movements up with big candles, and then all of a sudden the price is being pushed down. But you can see that there's not a lot of force from sellers. They're just fighting through to try to push this price down once again. We have good movements going up here, and then good pullbacks, and then good movements up, and then all of a sudden these candles starts struggling to come down. So nobody is closing below each other's minimals, which tells me that buyers may take control of this price. Still pushing down, so we got big push from sellers now. This is a regional support to the left on the 1 minute. Let's put our Fibo here and see what exactly is happening. So from this last movement, we are at the 50%. Here on the 15 minutes, candle 54 has tested trigger candle 52. If it does close inside of it, then we would be seeing this price pushing through to the region of minimals again. 36 seconds to go. If you guys have got any questions about the structures and about the technique we use, just write down on the chat and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions, okay? At the moment, price is just working above support on a downtrend on the micro movement, but we are still on a high trend on the macro movement. Candle 163 hasn't tested down. Candle 162 did close below the minimals of candle 161. So price could still get pushed down here to these minimals, okay? I don't want to be selling right now. We're just above support. We could get a kickback and get this price coming back up to this maximum high here. We had a really good rejection here out of these minimals. So we got to be careful with this. All right, candle 163, testing up once again. Not enough volatility at the moment on this market, so nothing much to do. We just gotta wait. This is the boring part about being a trader, is waiting for the market to move on any directions actually, because then we can't make analysis if the market's just working in one region. All I can do is read the candle per candle as it is happening. So on the 1 minute here, we can see that the market is fighting through, trying to get down from this 50% here, but it's finding a lot of support below. So it goes down, but it can't continue on its way down, which will probably have to push this price up to the trigger candle 800 to grab a little bit of liquidity if that's what it wants to do. Still above fighting through to get below that 50%. Sellers really trying to push it through, and then we get buyers pushing it back up. Let's see how candle 163 will close. We got 1 minute to go. Candle 813 here, only 1 minute, is trying to break through that 50 once again. If it does grab that liquidity below candle 811 here, it might accelerate a little bit, but we still have the support to the left. And then we have support just below 200 points below. We do have a very strong support for this price. So what I'm waiting on a rejection once again and a possibility to buy, okay? Because I can only sell if it does break through support and confirms that that's a proper breakthrough. As we can see here, candle 133 did break through support and then got pushed back up. Then candle 136 broke support, then got pushed back up. Then candle 141 broke through the support and got pushed back up straight away. Then candle 153 broke through. It had to come here, grab a bit more liquidity. Then came here, pushed through, got pushed back up by buyers, and then it managed to push down, grab the liquidity that was accumulated before below candle 134, and then the price got pushed back right up. So we have some very good buying options here. I'm actually going to put a buy here above candle 164. This is going to give me a 500 points trade. And then I'm going to put my stop just below candle 163. If it does come back, see, got pushed right there to grab that liquidity below candle 811, and then buyers just pushed the price right back up again. So we might get a good buy here. If price does come down below candle 163, then I will just take that buy out. Or if it reaches below 163, I'll accept that stop. Talking about 600 point stop for a 600 point gain. That's well inside of my risk management. So candle 815 is coming down to test. 816 also testing support to the left. $164 pushing down as hard as it can. If it can't beat through these candles, these trigger candles here, 146, 147 to the left, then it's gonna have to go back up to grab a bit more liquidity before it can move down. So we can see here that right now it's working on a regional support right there. So we got support to the left. Let me have a look at one thing that I haven't seen. Got to make sure I measure this properly. So candle 163 closed above it, 50%, just above it. Right. Big push from buyers once again, confirming the pullback. It's going to get us now. Let's see if it'll come to pay us. I'll leave it there. I'll put my stop down here. If it does grab my stop, that's totally fine. This price right now does need that liquidity. It hasn't been able to break through these lows, so it's got to go up. It has tried once, twice, three times to break through those trigger candles. So buyers trying to push the price back up and sellers are trying to push it back below. Okay, so region of a good fight. Candle 818 came here to the region of the trigger candle. Didn't manage to break through it. 819 is testing the last support here, which is candle 814. Should come up now. Come on, buddy. I have got trigger candles to the left here. And also got resistance. Let's see if it's gonna pay me at least 400 points. I've got that trigger candle 127 here, which could stop my price, and I've got 115 here, so yeah. That's a good region for my take. Come on, come on, come on, one push. One push. Oh, it's gonna have to come down to test once again. Now I'm gonna put my price on break even. I'm not gonna allow it to take me out at a loss at this point. It has moved 400 points. Just missed me by a little bit. If it takes me out, that's okay. It missed me by the spread. Look at that. Missed me by the spread. On the 1 minute, that's a good pullback. If it does close below this trigger candle here, then it could possibly come down to get our break even. But for the moment, this is just a pullback. Let's see if candle HU1 does manage to come back up. Let's see if it's going to confirm that pullback for us. And then sellers push it through again. This is a region of resistance to the left-hand side. It's going to come and take us out on our break even. So it did. We missed it by a spread, which is totally cool. We'll wait for it to show us again another entry, and we'll get on to the trade once again. Now, trigger candle 162 might still hold this price down here, okay? So it generated a little bit of inefficiency here, and candle 165 might just come here and then get pushed back up, okay? Or the opposite is also true. Since it generated that inefficiency and you already got it, it may have a little bit more force right now to actually break through these trigger candles to the left. But we're getting a very big fight around this 50%. I just don't want to be holding trades right now on a downtrend. Holding trades that we are going long on, simply because we are going against the trend, okay? So we are in a downtrend on the micro movement. For me to be holding these sort of trades, it's quite a big challenge. because price may well just come down to that support once again, even though the confluences say that this price does need to renew these highs to grab liquidity above, okay? But I don't want to be caught in the wrong side of the market. That's why price moves 400 points, I will put it on break even. Now on the 1 minute candle 823 did come back up and close inside of all trigger candles, which means 824 does need to come and renew that high once again. I'm not going to put a buy here, okay? Because we are too close to this trend line here. And we're too close to the resistance. So this price does have to continue on its way up, but I'm not going to buy right now. We do have the 50% of the day here. Price could break through that 50%, indicating that we would have good buys over this 50%, okay? So we can do that. At the moment, price is just triangulating in this region. Look at this. We've got this trend line, which is the our uptrend on the macro movement, and on the micro movement, we have this downtrend. And pretty much the price is getting squashed in between these two, which is going to have to decide which way it wants to go really soon. Hence why we're getting so much pressure from sellers and we're getting so much pressure from buyers just around this little square on the structure that the price is at the moment. So it's a little bit hard for us to gauge where this price will go. I do believe that the macro movement has a lot more force than the micro movement. So I do believe that price could come up quite a bit. But we do gotta respect that downtrend because we have been on a downtrend for the last couple of days. Also, I do believe that that's because of the payroll that we are going to have today. So I do believe that this payroll might be going up, okay? Might be a bullish payroll. It will happen in about 45 minutes, and everybody in the market does get quite nervous about it, but I love trading payrolls, okay? It's the days that we get paid the most. So once a month, on the day of the payroll, we go for it. We really go for it. All right, so price coming down once again. So it hits that resistance and then it comes down once again to test. So this is the last 50% we had. Let's see what's happening here. So here, price does a retraction on the 50% once again. And now it's coming back to the same 50%. We can see how much pressure we have from sellers at the moment. Look at that. And it's all in the same region. Let's see if that region to the left tells us something about what's happening. Nothing really. No, we don't have anything in that region that would be so important like that. Let's have a look. We've got the minimums of candle 115. Let's see if on the 1 hour we find something. Not really. We just got the minimums of the day 22, so 22 of February. It's on that region. Price might be just accumulating. Oh, sorry. Price might be just accumulating enough stops in that region to be able to stop at the time of payroll. Yeah, so it got nothing much at all. In there to be holding that price. We've got minimals of candle 38, but this is pretty much it. So price now broke through that 50. Let's see if it's gonna break through this support. It has generated quite a lot of liquidity below now. And this is exactly what I was talking about when I said that it's difficult to hold a trade going against the trend. So normally when we go against the trend, what we got to do is just do a hard scalp, small hard scalp, get it out of the way, and then let the market move. In this instance, I was expecting price to come here around this trigger candle 127. It didn't come down there. It didn't go as far as that. So I did prefer to put it on break even because it could have happened exactly what happened on candle 166, where it comes down and then it stops us below. So it's a lot better to be safe than sorry when the market is accumulating like this. Because what might end up happening is we'll stop buyers and then stop sellers, then stop buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers, just to accumulate enough liquidity. And then it comes time to the news and then it just moves. So we got candle 56 here coming down. Once again to the regional trigger candle. We've got candle 167, testing these triggers to the left. On the 1 minute, it has confirmed pullback to the minimals. So it should come here and at least renew the minimals of candle 813. Now, if it grabs that liquidity below candle 163 and then rejects that support coming up, we could buy once again. But now you can see that price is actually respecting these downtrend here. So we got to keep an eye out for that. We've got 7 minutes to go on our live today. I'm gonna leave my Brazilian phone number here. If any of you guys wants to learn how to read candle per candle, okay, and learn how we work with this technique, please get in touch with me. Okay, I do offer private mentorships. I actually teach at a school where we have over 60,000 students. Okay, and would be really good to hear from you guys. Okay, and if you came across this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and also share this channel with your friends. We are here every day from 9 to 10 o'clock, mapping the price of the gold. Okay, because after 10 o'clock, I do go trade together with my students in a closed Zoom meeting workshop where we trade together the live market, okay? So that's why we only do from 9 to 10 o'clock on a daily basis. So what I'll leave to you guys is, at the moment, market is still on a downtrend. We have got an uptrend here below. I still believe that these payroll, if it doesn't break through these minimals here, it will probably come back up because we have a lot of liquidity above. This 50% macro here below, this is a very good support for the price. So if payroll actually comes negative and pushes the price down, this would be a great region for you to take to get your target, your take, okay? Simply because over here it's going to be a region very, very strong for the price. It could hold that price quite easily. So just be careful around there. Um, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, cool. So if price does come below, we could have good sales until the 50%. Then if price continues to come up, if it continues to respect the support, we could have really good buying options here, okay? We have lots and lots of liquidity of buying contracts, of selling buyers contracts here. If the price comes down, it could accelerate really fast to these maximum highs of the days before. So we have a lot of liquidity here. We still have got inefficiency here from this retraction here, and a lot of liquidity above, plus a lot of inefficiency on this price, okay? So I would be very careful about this trade today at 10:30, 9:30 American US time, okay? So just pay attention. If it does break through this here, or if it comes here, tests, grabs the liquidity and come back, you can short it, okay? Just short it at the opening of the candle. So if market comes here, grabs that liquidity and comes back, short it until the 50%. If it comes below here and it can't break through this and comes back, then you go long. If it comes below and grabs this liquidity and comes back, you can go long, okay? Because it's going to be a buyer's market. So if it stops sellers here and comes down, short it. If it stops buyers and comes up, buy, okay? So this is pretty much what we'll do. But don't get in if it doesn't test. If market doesn't test, don't get into that trade, okay? You got to make sure that it tests, especially if it does grabs liquidity on the opposite direction, because once it grabs liquidity, it tends to move in the other way. Cool, guys, it is 2 minutes to 10 o'clock. It has been awesome to be here today once again. Unfortunately, today we didn't get a very good movement. Market sideways, just above support and below resistance. Price did break through that resistance right there, that support right there, but we have a support below and we've got trigger candles below here. It is looking a lot like this market could explode up, but it could do the opposite, okay? Just this trend line here on the minimals is quite important because it is the uptrend of the macro movement. So this trend line is actually quite important. If price does break through it, we can be expecting our payroll here at the region of the 5,000s once again. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. We will be back on Monday at 9 o'clock with some more analysis of the gold live. I would like to thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel and share this content with your friends. Okay, if they do want to learn more about how the gold moves and learn about how to trade the gold. All right. Thank you very much. I will see you soon, and may God bless you. Have a great weekend.